Okay, guys, I think I'm live. I'm sorry, I have a new laptop. And I am hosing myself up here, I think. But hang on. I believe I'm almost there. My apologies if I'm rolling and you guys can see and hear more than I can at the moment. Oh, mercy. So guys, you're going to think I'm nuts, like I've never done this before, but I can't see myself live. I can only see the camera. Now you see me. Why the hell can't I see myself? Hang on. Well, this is crazy. I can't get a window to show me live. I can't. I'm flying blind. I can't. Oh, mercy. Try one more thing. There we go. Sweet Moses. What a rough start that was. Sorry about that, guys. Whew. I got it. I think. Mercy. Okay, how is everybody tonight? For those of you listening to this recording, this is a live Ustream broadcast. Finally. It's going to be 3 hours long, so you're in for a long haul if you're watching on YouTube. If you'd like to join us for the next live one, go to ustream.tv and look for Inky Obsessions and follow me there, and you'll get notified when I go live. Then you can participate in the live chat. So we usually have a good, fun group of people on the live chat. You can ask questions as I go. You can make comments. You can share links. Which reminds me, I need to allow links. There we go. Links are on. Okay, so snow here outside of Baltimore on the first day of spring. Thank you very much. I got the bright idea the other day about trying to use the small jelly plates, like this is the little new 4-inch round one, as stamps, and stamp through my stencils or just make designs in the paint and stamp it on a shirt, whatever. So I was going to do that with a linen jacket that someone sent me, and I think it was Dorothy sent it to me. I went to pull it out to do it, and it's very wrinkled from sitting in the box where it's been sitting waiting for me to do something. So I went into an old t-shirt stash, and I was playing just before we went live with this. This had spots on it and stuff. So I was playing on this t-shirt. I'll explain what I did. But first I wanted to share this. And if you guys know Cece, Catherine Cote, she goes by Cece's Creations. You need to follow her on YouTube or in her blog if you don't. She's a great artist. I sent her some of my stencils and stamps. And you may have seen her video where she actually made these postcards. And she wrote a nice note and sent it to me. And it came in the mail. I watched her video. And she used my stamps for this one. And embossed. This is the dangle stamp up here. And then she used the little orb stacks and made them like trees. And then put the Outback stamp with the New Year stamped in it. I love that. But it showed, I was looking at it, I thought that is such a pretty card. And it came in the mail. What do you know? So anyway, this is just a rough first attempt. And I was just playing with, I grabbed one stencil, well, two. I went to go with the black to put highlight in there, and I think I liked it better with just the turquoise that I had going. Didn't come out the way I thought. But this is just, I've never done it before other than this about 15 minutes ago. So It's a crapshoot. We're rolling live, so whatever happens, happens, right? What? It's an old spotted t-shirt. I'm not going to wear it anyway. But I put it on a box that I have that's a folded up box that I use for shipping things. And I stuck that in it so I had a board to work on, right? But here, let me get a little bit closer. I tried to get my pictographs in there because I just love those. But I used the orb stencil, and I used that paint that I really like. This, the Joe Sonio's Raindrop. And I put some fabric medium in with the acrylic paint. Ooh, where are you? Yeah. There we go. And mixed it kind of a one-on-one combination there. So, we'll see how that rolls. All right, let me get my windows lined up here. I got a new laptop, and apparently this is the first time, it is the first time that I've streamed on here, so all my settings are kind of like, you'd think I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Well, I honestly, as we all know, not so much. But I'm willing to give it a try. So anyway, I'm going to get rid of this one. Take this off the board. And I'm going to move to another one and show you kind of what I did. And I have to read that label. I'm not sure if you're supposed to heat set this after you're finished and once it's dry. I'm not sure about that. But I'm going to grab another t-shirt. And we're going on a cruise this summer, and I had that linen jacket that that I think it was Dorothy sent me in a gift box, or Genevieve. Dorothy? I forget. They both sent me something, and I can't remember which sent me that. However, I wanted to paint that up a little bit and take it on the cruise. Because I don't do so well in the sun, it seems like when I had chemo, it kind of changed my skin and what my skin tolerates. I used to be in the water, under the water, every weekend of my life since I was a child. And I can't do it anymore because that involves the sun. And I don't do so well in the sun anymore. So, oh well. So here's another white t-shirt. I just stuffed this box in. No, Dorothy, it wasn't you. It must have been Genevieve. Don't remember. That's a shame. A memory. Your mind is a terrible thing to waste. So, now what design do I want to do on here? Pray tell. Maybe some of these little discus circles. They're kind of simple. And I liked how that one came out. That's kind of maybe interesting. All right, well, that's enough to get me started. So I think I'm going to start with the busier, or I shouldn't say busier, the more negative space on the bottom, and then build layers up where that won't cover, this won't cover all of that up when I overlap. You dig? So that's what I think I'm going to do. And I have the 3x5 jelly plate, and I got the 6-inch round one. I didn't have anything good to put it on. I have it on one of these little flimsy thin case things. I don't know if that's, it seems like it's sticking okay. Well, we'll try it. What the hell? So, hang on, let me take one more look here. All right. Okay, so I don't really know what I'm going to do on this one. I don't have a plan, as usual. I like to fly by the seat of my pants, in case you didn't know that. But I know I like turquoise, so now I have this other shade out here, too, called Stillwater. That's in that Joe Sonio's collection. I think it's called a Potting Shed collection. So, I think let's just go with something that just kind of rambles down, you know, kind of diagonally and down, trails off the bottom of the shirt. How about that? Because otherwise, my brain's not firing on all cylinders today, I don't think. I work from home. Went and had a haircut. I think she scalped me this time. I didn't have her blow it dry because the price to do that there is almost as much as the haircut, which I think is a little outrageous in my book, but what the heck. So, I have a piece of palette paper over here that I mixed some of the paints and some fabric medium on. And I'm also going to put a little bit of this dark, oops. Boy, that was almost a huge faux pas there. I have my black paint still on the brayer wet. Get that off of there before we have a total flub on a brand new, well, it's not a brand new shirt, but it's a clean shirt to start off with. All right, let's try that again, shall we? I'm going to throw some of the darker turquoise on there. Bring this into screen so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to put about a 1-on-1 mix. That's probably a little more paint than medium, but I'm all right with that. And then I'm just going to mix this up. And I never have used this fabric medium before, and the one time when I did that, if you remember, I did muslin that I used for journal covers, and then I used, I did some white denim that I made pencil cases out of a year or so ago. I made one for my art girlfriends for Christmas. If you remember, that was a sewing disaster on the film. Oh, Lord. Anyway, I'm trying it this time because if it's on a shirt or a jacket, I'd like to be able to wash it. So, okay, I'm going to I'm going to make sure this paint isn't going to mix up on the brayer here. I want that kind of clean. So what I was doing, instead of typically like squirt like I do with squirting the paint right on the brayer, I don't have much room here. I just was dipping the brayer in some of the paint because this plate's kind of little, right? And I can just kind of roll it on there and get decent coverage with that little dip of the brayer. So that's what I was doing. So here we go. Hang on, people. Put on your seatbelts. So I'm just going to take this and somewhere randomly on the stencil, plop that bad boy down and give it a good press all over. And there you go. There's one mark down. All right. I kind of like how that just, you know, the stencil's square, but or rectangular on the bigger ones, but I'm only going to get the round pattern because that's the shape that the Gelli plate is. So now I have the reverse image on here, like a ghost image on here. So I didn't want to waste that, so let's just stamp that somewhere. I probably should have stamped that in a different location. So that's just a little ghost image of that. And I'm not sure if that's really the way I want to go with the ghost images or just keep all the vivid images. Of course, I put it on there now, right? So, but when I get to my linen jacket, I'll have this perfected and then I can do it on there the way that I really want to do it on there. Did you hear my brain stop there for a minute? Right in mid-sentence. It's not good. So now I'm going to try same design, and I'm going to use the darker teal this time. And let's overlap kind of them both a little bit. I think what I might do if I want black next time is to either use a Molotow marker or a fabric marker, or even just use the stencil and, you know, stamp a with a makeup sponge. Ooh, there's the darker one. All right, well, since I did the ghost images, I'm going to do the darker one kind of up over here off the side. I don't like that. But it's okay. When it all comes together, maybe it'll be like the coolest spot on the shirt, right? I should have taped this in the back with a piece of tape, but again, not the smartest one. All right, so let's go with another lighter one. Oops, now I'm getting the paints mixed up. See, that's okay on the paper prints, but I didn't want that same, or maybe I do want that same look. I don't know, that's just not what I envisioned in my little mind, but maybe that's the way to go. But see, it's kind of cool that you can use these just like a stamp when you put them on a acrylic block. They stick really well. And all right, let's meander this design down here again. Oh, Pammy likes the darker one, huh? It's really shows up nicely on the shirt, actually. See, that's kind of a mix of the two, where my brayer wasn't cleaned off. I feel really awkward here the way I'm working because I'm so tight with this taking up so much of my work area that I don't have my normal stuff out here the way I normally would use it. No, Jean, I haven't been over to Queen's Ink. I don't know if they have the smaller ones. Oh, look at that, how that cleaned off. That's kind of interesting. I got them online at Gelli Arts when they first came out. Patti probably has them now though, but I'm not positive. So there's still more on there, but that's not coming off. So I'm gonna, on the cloth anyway, but I'm gonna pull it off on there. Get most of that off. And then I'm gonna mix more of the light colored paint. I feel like a mad scientist. I should have got a bigger bottle of the fabric medium, I can see that. But I want to try on the next piece that I'm going to play with. I want to try mixing some different colors. I have some of those jacquard fabric paints. Geez, in my fluster of getting online tonight with my new setup, I don't think I said hi to everybody, but hi everybody. Oh Lord, I hear Babe up there crying. Now I put light on there, but I really wanted dark. Too many distractions. Dave's away to golf trip. So, the pups are used to, when I'm down here streaming, they're up there laying with him. And, now can you hear Babe up there yapping? Oh Lord, that dog. Yeah, I was just reading the stream. What, you know, anything looks good when you bling it up, right, Denise? Bling that bad boy up. But I was surprised when I first made an impression with this, what a clean impression I got on the t-shirt material with the stamps, or stamps, you know what I mean. Oh, Anita, where are you going to go with Mary Beth? I did a workshop with her at the Queen's Ink. I like Mary Beth. All right, let me clean this off. Look at that black still coming off of there. Good Lord. Oh, kind of crazy. Going back for the dark one, Hubs. Another dark one coming up. Alright, let's go for another dark one. Let's go over here with this one. Hey guys, just joining. There's another dark one. That does come out really vivid with the dark, doesn't it? But see, the ghosts, if you were looking at a t-shirt hanging somewhere to buy it, you'd think like, yeah, I don't know, what is that? But us knowing what Gelli prints are and the ghost prints, they're kind of cool. Ooh, look at all that goodness on there. That's a good, let's put that one right about there. All right. This is a long t-shirt. All right, let me go back to, seems like there's a lot of wasted paint in this. Must be my process that's not perfected yet. Oh my gosh, a white lab named Gracie. We had a in a previous life I had a male yellow lab named Nugget, and my ex-husband came home from a business trip with an extra suitcase that had a little head sticking out of it, and it was a little female lab, and we ended up giving her to my brother and sister-in-law because we were relocating at the time and it was just too much going on to try to break a puppy. And they ended up naming her Honey, but I was going to name her Gracie. I don't know why, I just thought that was a cute name. I'm telling you, you can't get much cuter than a lab puppy. Oh, I'm sorry. Now you can hear Babe up there yapping. Not so cute. These colors are Joe Sonio background colors. They're acrylic. I got them at Dick Blick. And they are in the Potting Shed series of colors. Hey, Rain. And this darker one is called Still Water. This camera doesn't focus very well. And this light turquoise one is called Raindrop. This is the one I did on my last stream where I made that kind of triangular 3D canvas. That was that Raindrop that I used. I love that color. Come here, babe. Come here and see Mama. Come on, baby. Come on, come on. I know she won't come down. Oh, oh no, that's Mojo. I can tell by the footsteps. There we go. Come here. That's my little girl. Come here, baby girl. Come on. Come here with Mama. Come on, come on. Hard-headed dog, I'm telling you. And you just got her, she's 10 months old? Doesn't get much cuter, I'm telling you. They aren't, Anita. They are regular acrylics. I'm adding this fabric medium to the paint. That's supposed to do the trick when you're using it on fabric that you're going to wash. Now, I've used it before. I've done this before on fabric. But I made pencil cases or I covered a journal. Not something I was going to launder. Yeah, this was the 4-inch round, Rain. That's all right. Get some of that blotted off of there. Oops. All right, I think I'm going to put another dark one down here. And then I think I need some new brayers. All right, another dark one in that still watercolor. It's funny, that fabric medium, even though you put enough in there, it's like a 1-to-1 ratio. It doesn't really change the color. It doesn't water down the color like you would think it would change the pigmentation or whatever. Doesn't seem to do that. Listen to that knucklehead up there yapping. All right, I might go off the edge of the frame here, but I want to lay this flat to get a good impression down here. Yeah, right, it does keep the fabric more supple. I just broke it in tonight, Rain. I took it out of the package tonight. All right, and one more of these, and I think I'll hang this right off of this end here. Okay, so there we go. Actually, I'm looking at this on screen, and I like better what it looks like on screen than in person. I think in person I can just see, I don't want to say the imperfections. I mean, it's paint on fabric. It's not going to be a perfect, smooth blend there, but that's not bad for a first attempt. You know, I was looking at when you're talking about a polar bear, and in my previous life, after we lost our first yellow lab, we got another one. And we had a sport fishing boat. And we went offshore fishing the Gulf Stream out of Hatteras, diving the shipwrecks. And we were off on the boat every weekend, February to Thanksgiving, every year. And we did that for the 16 years that I was there. But anyway, so the second one we named Captain. And Captain went, Nugget was with us on the boat all the time too, but Captain went with us on the boat. And during the week when I'd work, when he was just a little teeny thing, we got him at 8 weeks. My ex-husband's boss's wife stayed at home, and she just was a nice German lady. And she said, oh, let me watch Captain for you when you go to work. I just love him. Well, they started calling him, and I forget the word in German. And I said, what are you calling him? And they said that it translates to ice bear, which is, I guess, a term for polar bears, because he was real light colored. I'm going to put one more dark one right up here. But they used to call him whatever that was in German, ice bear. And actually we put that in we showed him for a while. He was a beautiful dog. We showed him for a while, and I'm trying to remember what the heck his name was with AKC. It was something like Captain Ice Bear. Captain Ice Bear. Oh, hell, I don't even know my own puppy's name. Again, the memory. I'm telling you, it's a serious issue. All right, I'm going to put a dark one up here. Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't too far off then, with the ice bear translation there. I know, it's terrible when you have to lose one of them there. I think if anybody has a pet and they treat them like they should, like a member of their family, a really terrible loss and we know they have short lifespans when we get them, but we still can't resist them. I think I'm going to put this darker ghost over top of this one. Will that look bad? Will that obliterate that? Here's how to find out. Slam her down there. Can you guys hear her upstairs? She's standing at the top of the stairs, crying. She's been fed, they've been out, she's had water, they've had their treat. There's nothing that she needs. But there she is. So there we go. I'm going to leave this one like this for the time being and let this dry. All right. I'm going to pull this and take us off to the side and pull it off this cardboard frame and let it lay out on a table here to dry. Actually, now that I get up and walk back a little bit from that, I do like the way it looks. I'll post some pictures on Facebook later, some stills. But now I have a lot of paint left here. Let me, oh, I forgot to grab the other shirt. Hang on. Okay, I'm going to use, this is going to be another experiment. I wanted to try, this is like an old polo shirt, you know, a collared shirt. Let me dress my cardboard box up here with my shirt. I want to try, this has a really much heavier fabric. Okay, hang on. All right. I don't know what it is with old white t-shirts that hang in the closet and you don't wear for a while, and then you go look at them and they got yellow spots on them, like this one right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm not sure what happens to them in the closet, but something does. I'm going to wipe off my little round jelly plate. And I'm going to try something different this time. Babe, come here, honey. Come here, come and see, come and see. Come on. Come on, baby. That dog's got a mind of her own. Mojo, he is so good and so easy and laid back. That one, not so much. Okay, I'm going to move this palette paper with these turquoise. There's a lot of paint on here. I'll have to come back to that somehow. I'm going to move this. Actually, I'm going to leave that on that palette and set that whole thing aside. And I'm going to grab another palette that I'll mix on. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to even need to mix this time because I'm going to try some of these jacquard paints. Hey, Becca. Jamie. Hello. All right, clean off most of this gook off of this stencil, and clean up my area a little bit, and grab some more paper to blot off on. Jim, hi! Wine Country Man, that's my buddy Napa Jim joining us. I'm glad to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. So the ones new, I am attempting to do some jelly printing on fabric, on old t-shirts I've pulled out of the closet that have seen better days. So if I screw it up so bad, I'm not too concerned about that. But I'm using the smaller, I'm going to use the rectangle one in here sometimes this time too. And maybe I've envisioned like doing a square and then a round and kind of mingling the shapes as I go down, or however shape I go on this. So I have these paints. Oh, I didn't see your video today, Jamie. I'll have to go back and make sure I see it. So now these, hear that? A little more runny. But they are fabric paints. And they are some metallic. Oops. See the metallic in that? Oh, is Jean on? She'll like that green. And Eileen. This one is actually called Halo Blue Gold. It's got a they're all metallic, but this has a separate shade. I have a pink one too. This one. This one here is Halo Pink Gold. I need to shake these puppies up. Hey Paula, thanks for joining. I am making a mess on some old t-shirts tonight. Oh, they're really not too much of a mess, but what the heck. That looks really orange. It's called Halo Pink Gold. Maybe it needs some more mixing. These are Luminaire by Jacquard. And they are fabric paints. So, I'll have to decide what colors I want to use here. I guess I could just do a rainbow of colors, but hey, look at all those. Right, these are fabric paints, so you don't need fabric medium. That's already been addressed in these paints. Wow, they're kind of cool. Maybe I'll just try a little bit of everything. Take 3 of them out, maybe. What do you think? All right, let's give it a try. So we are, there's a good chance we just may totally run amok, but that's how we learn sometimes. Amok is somewhere I've been before. I'm going for it, Jim. I am going for it, my friend. Okay, let me pull out a couple stencils. Try a couple of these. Oops. Oh, gotta have a little pictograph action in there. That's maybe a good one. This one worked out well before. We'll try some of that. Okay, I'm just going to mix up the patterns, mix up the shapes and the colors, and have at it. That's what I'm going to do. So, and again, I have no earthly idea what I'm doing. I'm just thinking it should work, so I'm going to give it a whirl. Okay, this one is Luminaire. It's called Pearl Violet. It's a really vivid. I'm going to stir that and see if that is that liquidy or if there's stuff stuck on the bottom. A little bit of the mica on the bottom maybe. I'm holding it. I know I'm getting out of frame. I'm trying to hold it so it doesn't splash onto the shirt. And if it does, then I'll just put splatters all over the shirt. And one will think that it was intentional. All right, I'm just going to wipe that right on the plate and off on my shirt, of course, because that's how I roll. Speaking of rolling, here we go with the brayer. Let's see how these roll out on the brayer, because these are runnier than acrylic, or more fluid, I should say. But it's a pretty color. All right, here we go. And I think I'm going to go vertical right over here and see what happens. Ooh, there we go. See, you can see the design as it's touching the fabric through the block. All right. Viola. There's one. You know what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep going with this color and this stencil and random patterns, and then switch up instead of switching every time I kind of meander further down the shirt. And I'm not going to do ghost prints this time because I think I just want a cleaner print this time. So I'm going to print that off, which actually that was silly because I could have used that paint on there. But again, not that smart. Get a little bit more goodness on there. These kind of want to beat up a little bit on the plate. And you can see this fabric has more of a nap. I'll pick this up in a minute. Go this way this time. Debbie! Hey! How are you? That's one of my bestest friends in the world from Australia just got on. You've been tearing those watercolors up, haven't you? Debbie just went on a cruise, and she took a watercolor class on the cruise. That doesn't look so good. That didn't imprint right there very well. But it's okay. It's going to be in the background, so I'm going to carry on. All right. A little bit more. Maybe I just didn't have enough paint on there for this fabric with the nappier hand to it. There's a lot of YouTube videos, Deb, with watercoloring techniques and styles and stuff. Huh. Can't say that I'm overly wild about what I'm doing or seeing here right this minute. But I think it'll all come together. Patty, do you have a piece of cardboard or something between the front? I do, Jamie. It's like on I slid a box, a cardboard box, up underneath of here that's folded that you would, you know, make into a box to ship stuff. So I have that underneath of here. I'm wondering if I shouldn't have it with like a mouse pad or something under it that's more rubbery. But the jelly plate has so much give to it. I don't know that I really need to do that. I'll do one more over here. So I'm not watching the stream very well tonight, guys. So if you want my if you have a question or something, make sure you jump up and down and use all caps or put a heart in there. Yeah, I did on this one, Jim. I did use more paint on this one. There we go. All right, I'm going to put this one away. This is pretty paint. I don't know if you can see the metallics in that or not. You can tell with the shimmer between the glare and the fuzzy camera. Do I wipe the back of the stencil? I just now blotted it on my shirt, of course, because this is my shirt. It's also my Inky Binky, as a lot of people call them. It's dangerous though when I wear a shirt that's not made for that intention. I end up with a lot more of those shirts. All right, now, I hate to waste all that paint, but I can maybe incorporate that into a collage at some point down the road. All right, I'm going to change plates and change colors. Oh, good. Have you used it yet, Becca? I'm a dirty girl, Jim. I don't clean mine. I mean, if they have blotted paint, thick paint on them, I'll blot it off, but they don't get washed. This well, see, that's dry already, so that one's gonna stay like that. As long as it's dry enough that it doesn't stick to another stencil, I'm good. Okay, let's try. That's round. Let's try. Maybe something like this. But what I'm stalling about is that if I use this, it's not going to cover. It's only going to cover like 2.5 of these, no matter where I put that. This one, it's not even going to cover 2 whole ones. Maybe that's not a good choice. I know this is a good choice. I'll just reuse this one again for sure. Alright, let's see here. Rooting through my pile of designs here. Oh, this might be a good one. The egg timers. All right, let's see. I'm going to put the purple away. And let's see here. Let's go turquoise. You can't go wrong with purple and turquoise, right? This one is just called Pearl Turquoise. Good Lord. That baby was on there. Let's see if this has any. No, they seem like they just shake pretty well. Like the mica doesn't separate and settle. All right. Let's go back to the round plate. Oops, got a little mix of colors there. Oh darn. There's Babe crying again up there. Good Lord. Literally just ordered off eBay. I'm going to order some stencils too. Yay! I hear they have some really good designs on iStencils. I'm just saying. Now, this looks kind of sheer. I don't know if that's going to show up or not. Put a little bit more gook on there. Alright, here we go. We're going to get what we get. And I think I'll kind of overlap Maybe just do something in between these two. Ah, there we go. I don't like to give it too much thought. If I do that, it seems like work. And I work full time as it is, so. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, that would be a nice ghost print on something if I had something to put it on. But we'll just add more paint. Yeah, I think that just needed more paint with that on this color. How much was the postage, Deb, for you going to Australia? Because I know internationally people say that their postage is really reasonable. I thought at one time when I was first ordering from them, even before I designed for them, I thought I remembered seeing somewhere that it was $7.99 internationally. Ooh, look how much darker that one came out. Ooh, that's pretty. I guess that's just with more paint. Look at the difference. I usually have a couple other viewers, Deb, from Australia that are on. I don't know if they're on tonight or not. I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm doing. God forbid. And not really watching the stream that closely. Good Lord, $58 for a letter. I don't know, Joe, if I allowed it to soak in longer or not. That's possible, but I know I used more paint. And it's the same color, which is weird. It's just like the concentration of it, I guess, was more saturated. I don't know. It's the same exact paint. You wouldn't think more of it would just look that much darker. What the hell do I know? All right, let's try to... Oh, maybe so, Jim. Jim was saying that maybe the first coat dried and then the second coat transferred off the plate onto there. I don't know. We'll see how this one comes out. This one I know I put more paint on. Sorry, I'm off screen. Let me move these baby wipes. That'll give me a couple more inches of depth here to push this back. Get a little bit more in frame. I know, isn't that ridiculous? $58 for a letter. Ooh, that's darker too. Ooh, look at that. I love this round plate with a stencil. I'm liking that. Oh, jeez. I don't know if you guys can hear that crazy dog of mine up there. Oh, jeez. She's going to age me, I'm telling you. Hey, Jean. Oh, he really liked it, Princess. He really liked the box that I made him. All right. I think I'm going to put another one of these maybe up here by that lighter one because I like turquoise and I like turquoise by my face when I wear it. I think it brightens your face up, and Lord knows I could use a lot of that brightening. I know, she's pitiful, Jim. She's just crying. Dave's away on a golf trip and she usually is laying up on him or next to him when I'm down here, and Instead of just coming down here and laying on the very plush puppy bed they have under my table, she's going to stay up there and yap all night. You'd think that would get old, but not for her. All right, let me go up here. Oops. And there we go. Yes, Joe, you must. Oh, I'm glad you like it, Jim. Jim bought one of my first that I actually sold was to Jim. I made, if you guys saw the mosaic, polymer clay mosaic box I made in the wine theme. We did it in a wine theme for Wine Country Jim. Yeah, I really like the way it turned out. Those aren't colors that I normally would have used, but I really liked them when I had it done. Ooh, that's pretty. That's got a little mix of, you know what, I am going to start mixing the colors because that's got a little mix up there. That looks pretty good. All right. No, she'll come up and down the stairs. She just doesn't care to at the moment. She tries to command you to do what she wants you to do instead of the other way around, so. Hey, that dog, I'm telling you, should wear me down. Let's see what this comes out on here. Oh, I did that, Anita. I got a 12 by 14 early on, and I thought, why do I want a 12 by 14? And then when I was doing some of the stuff with my 8 by 10, I thought, you know what? I like it when it covers the whole page. So I cut that bad boy down into 8.5 by 11. So it covers the whole paper. And doesn't leave that white frame around it. But when I designed my stencils, I made them so they would fit, the design would fit exactly on the 8 by 10 and the 6 by 6 jelly plates. So, got all that goodness. And brush it on here, I suppose. Tell you, this just won't go away. Look at, I'm still getting black off of that brayer. You guys see that we're here early on? I haven't used black on there, and I don't know how many rolls, but oh well. All right, I'm going to set this off to the side and let that dry up a little bit. And then we'll come in with this. This is a little bit tighter pattern. Now, what color, pray tell, do we want to put in there? Do I have another cold color? Or do I want to put something orange or pink? I didn't have a stroke. I'm reading the stream. I don't have silver in this paint though, Jen. I want to get a little bit more color down, and then I might do something with a neutral or a metallic. Well, these are all metallic colors, actually. All right, I think I'm going to go pink. Hello, blue. Gold, where is that? I have that somewhere. Is it this? LWH. What did I miss, Jamie? LWH. LWH. Here comes Mojo. Why is your sissy up there yapping and yapping and yapping? He said, Mommy, I'm going to come down with you to get some peace and quiet. Listen to her. Isn't she a pain, Mojo? He said, oh, Mother, you don't know the half of it. Come here, lay down in Mojo's bed. Come on, lay down with Mama. I don't know. Oh, gotcha. Got you with the LWH. Hey, Carrie. Thanks for joining, you guys. I am jelly printing on an old shirt that I don't care if I hose it up. I'm going to hold off on that green gold now. I'm going to go pink with this, and I'll bring that other one in later, I think. I think with this design I want to use pink. So now, do I want to go circles or do I want to go back to the rectangles? I think I'll go back to the rectangles. Hey Jean, would you mind if I made you my co-pilot? Ooh, look at that pink. That's some nice pink right there. All right, let's see. All right, Jean, you got it. I'm a co-pilot there. All right, let's see what happens here. Back to the 3x5 rectangular plate. And going with this pink. This is called Pearlescent Magenta. I'm going to put this on kind of a weird angle here with the design and go in and splot that bad boy right down there. What's the name of the pink? It's Pearlescent Magenta. There we go. Oops, had a little hole in the middle there. I'm not sure if I like that as much as I had envisioned in my head. You know what I finally did? I finally paid the, what is it, $3.99 a month? And then you're ad free because it was driving me bonkers. So I sucked it up and pay the $4 a month. Now that Paula's streaming again, and I'm always watching her streams, or always try to catch them live, that's worth the $4 to me to get rid of that. All right, let's do this up here. Oops, that slid a little bit. I don't know if you guys all know Paula, Journal Artista, or follow her streams, but if you don't, you should. It's a lot of fun. Great group of people on the chat. A lot of you guys are, I know you know Paula, that's how I met you. But if there's anybody on here that doesn't, you gotta do it. A lot of fun and really good techniques. Good stuff. She's Journal Artista on YouTube and on everywhere, I think, and on Ustream. All right. There it is. Thanks, Jean. Patty, you know the PBOs use, are they Dynacolors? Yeah, the ones that I usually use on my jelly plate, they are the Dynacolors, the iridescence. The paint's one color, the iridescence is another color, contrasting color. They're the ones that I always, you see me using on my jelly plate. I haven't used them tonight yet. When you use them by themselves and not with another color, they come out very sheer. So I didn't think they would show up very well on the fabric. All right, hang on, let me get up here. And we're going to put you. Ah. All right. Just throw you down there. It's getting hard to reach. Wow, we have 66 people on tonight. That's a nice group. All right. So I juggle my, better put the cap on this. Lord knows what will happen there. All right, I think I'm going to try adding another hot color in there with that. It's called Halo Pink Gold, but I'm telling you, between the pink and the gold, there's a lot of orange going on there to my eye. My eye. All right, I'm going to switch back to the round one for that. All right, get some of this off of there. And I got to find a stencil I'm going to use. So I dig through my pile. Wonder if that one would be, you know what, I'm going to use this one. What the hell? Because these are, that would be kind of interesting because this is all square lines. This one, mosaics it's called. But I'm going to use the round plate through it. So you guys have to take the Evelyn Wood speed reading course to keep up with the chat. Remember those commercials? If you're as old as me. All right, this one I'm going to mix up a little bit more. It is kind of orangey, but it is like a magenta with a gold metallic, but there's so much of the gold metallic in there that the mix looks really orange, which I'm hoping it does for this, actually. Oh yeah, look at that. All right, here we go. Kind of bouncing it around there to try to, because I don't want to, it's so runny that when I just when I roll it in too much, it just falls off the other side of the plate, because it's so small. It's so cool that you can use these smaller ones like stamps, though. All right. Oh, crap. Look what I just did. On the bottom of the shirt. Ah, you little schmutz on there. Guess what that means? We'll be splattering stuff. Gonna have to do it. I don't know. Let's just try this. Right there because I can reach it. Oh, you can see the pink and the gold in there, actually. If you were here, you could. I don't know if you can on the screen. Oh, here we go again with the yapper. I haven't really used mine, Donna, my little plates. I just, I don't know. I've just been kind of busy, I guess. I don't know. They are addicting, though. What you just stamped is off screen. Oh, crap. Sorry. I know it's too big to get on screen. I can't go back any further. But this one you guys will see. It looks the same as this, but it's down there. Thanks, Jean. That's what it was. It looks like that. All right. Well, come here. If you come this far down, why don't you just come here? Huh? All right, let me try to move this around a little bit. And put another little something up here, maybe, off the shoulder. I have an idea for the next shirt. I want to try mixing the colors. And remind me of that when I get to the next shirt and I think, what the hell was I going to do? Yeah, Jean, that's right. She is like a little brat. This does print cool with that round with the square designs in it. I thought it would, and it does. Hang on, I'm going to try to get some frame in this and see what the heck I'm looking at. Babe, honestly, give it a rest, my dear. Wearing mother to a frazzle. Alright, I think Patti does the paint come off in the wash. I don't know, I'll let you know. No idea. I would assume that it wouldn't because it's fabric paint and it's meant to do this. I don't know if you're supposed to heat set these. Let me see if it says on the label. But I don't know, this is a first for me. I've got no idea. Let's say brilliant metallics, perfect for English wood, canvas, paper, natural synthetics and fabrics, lightweight silk to denim, vibrant, even on black, shake, air dry for 24 hours, seal or varnish if desired. On fabrics, air dry for 24 hours, then heat set by ironing both sides for 30 seconds at a temperature suited for the fabric. After heat set, colors are washable or dry cleanable. Dilute with water if desired. Clean up with soap and water. That's pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to set this one to the side and let this dry and let me think about what else I want to do to that. And I'll be right back. Going over here to a table to throw this on and let it dry. I'm going to bring back the one I did earlier to show you guys that came on later. The first one that I did. Alright, hang on. So here's the first one that I did earlier. I just did the 2 shades of turquoise and actually did the ghost prints. And this is acrylic paint that I put fabric medium in. I printed the ghosts as well and just kind of meandered it down the center of the shirt, kind of diagonally. I have to still think about what else I want to do to that one. But that's the first one I played with. Okay. So now let me clean up my stuff here a little bit and get ready for my next. Ooh, look at that paper. It's like it's electric. I'll put that up there with that other one to dry. Use that for something one day. So now I think what I'm going to do is going to go back to some more traditional kind of jelly printing. Oops, where did I just put that? Hang on. My brain's going in all kind of different directions here, what I want to do. A duvet cover. Good Lord. Be here for a week. Hang on, I'm going to move the camera a little bit. Yep, wrong way. Oops. Maybe too much that way. I don't want to get you too far off screen. Hang on. I do this every time. This setup here is maybe a little... Hang on. Woohoo! No extra charge for the free ride. Hang on. This has all kind of different adjustments on this monopod thing. It's got a handle. It's got an extension. I know. You need a seat belt and a Dramamine, Rain. Okay, let's see now. I have an idea. Oh shoot, if I do that though, I gotta put the fabric medium back in there. And then I gotta start mixing that paint again. Do I want to do that? Maybe I'll just use these and mix these colors. That'll be easier. Won't it? Yes, it will. Funny you should ask. Okay, now let me get my next shirt. Jim, I do. I love it when I'm all painted up. All right. $82 intense blocks, Inktense blocks for $65. That's cheap. That is cheap. Okay, now this, trying to fold this around here. Okay, here we go with another clean shirt. Doesn't look clean, but that's paint on the board underneath of it. Hey, Bliss. Okay, now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my 6-inch round, and I have it on one of these floppy thin container things because I didn't have anything else big enough to put it on. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but we are about to find out. Let me look at some other designs here. That might be a cool one. That might be a cool one. Oh, I'm working on my next, hey Merle and Barb. I am working on my next set of stencil designs, and most of these are hand-drawn and with a tribal kind of theme. The pictograph seems to be the most popular one that I've had in any design, and so I'm gonna keep running with that. I don't know when the next launch will be, but you'll be the first to know, of course. I got a bunch of designs I sent in to Sherry for the designer to start on. Well, I say designer. I design them, then they do whatever the design guy's got to do to get them converted to the right format for the computer that cuts the stencils. Try that one. That might be too small. Okay. All right, I got a different variety here. And actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about this, I'm going to have to use the larger stencils with this one because I want the whole circle of the ink or the paint to show. And these are only 6x6 stencils. So, Lizzie, hi. Lizzie, you guys know Lizzie Werman? You guys got to follow her on YouTube and Facebook. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. She actually bought one of my boxes too. I have 2 people that bought my polymer clay boxes. Lizzie got one. Lizzie's in Chile, right? Am I remember right, Lizzie? I know you're in South America. I think you're in Chile. And Jim's got the other one that he bought out in Napa. Okay. All right. Pardon me while I get my ducks in a row here. All right, I'm going to try. Wow, 79 people on. That's a big fun group. Thanks, guys. I'm using my new round and the small rectangular jelly plates to print on old t-shirts before I print on my good t-shirts. But actually this is a better t-shirt, so I'm hoping this one works right. I'm hoping this one does what I want it to do. So I'm going to mix a couple colors. So I'm going to go try my favorites first, of course. Purple and turquoise. I figure I can't go wrong with that. And let's see how this comes out. Oh, it's beating up on that brand new plate. You guys see that? That might not be good. All right, here goes nothing. Let's see what we get. Just kind of splotting this around again with the brayer. That is kind of beating up. And it's probably not going to look like much of a mixed color, actually. Oh, look at that. It's separating off the plate. See that? Yeah, I think it is just too new, Rain. I think it's just, it needs a little, it needs to be schmutzed up a little. I'm going to schmutz it up here in a minute. Hang on. Well, I didn't get out the one I wanted out anyway. Now I'm really going to hose myself up here. Hold on. Oh, this one ought to be interesting. Iron gate. I like that one. Let's see what happens here. What's the worst that can happen? I've asked that repeatedly. Okay, here we go. I don't know what the worst is going to be, but I'm prepared for it to happen. All right. Here we go on my floppy plate. Woohoo! I didn't, Jean. You know what? Of all the jelly plates I have, I didn't even know you were supposed to do that. Oh, great. Yeah, I like this stencil too, Linda. This one's called Iron Gate. All right, let's see what we got. Ooh, look at that. I don't know if I want to do ghosts on here or not. I don't think I do. I don't think I do, but I need to stamp it off on something. So, let's put it right there, shall we? Oh, did you get this one, Lizzie? Yeah, I really like this one. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. Look at the shine in this paint. It's nice and shiny. All right, well, let's just do that again. This time I'm going to put more turquoise. I think the purple overpowered the turquoise. Try that mix. See what we get. Oh, mercy. I got too much stuff going on here. I'm telling you. All right, let's try that. Let's go back here again. Yeah, it's cotton shirt, Lizzie. I hope. 100% cotton. And these paints are fabric paints. They're the Jacquard Luminaire. Oh no, that one you can see more of a mix of colors. See that in there? That's the turquoise. That's definitely the thing to do, is to get just a tiny bit of purple in there. That's a really overpowering pigment. I like that one much better than that one. I like it so much I might do it again. Uh-oh, schmutzed on the bottom. Oh, I don't know how to be careful and not do that, honestly, but oh well. We'll work that into the design. You missed the comment, Patty. From after the first stamp, that was very interesting placement on the shirt. Wait a minute, you missed the first comment, Patty, from Am. After the first stamp, that was very interesting placement on the shirt. I think I know what you mean there, Jean. There's Mojo again. Where's your sissy? Huh? Where's Sissy? What's she such a pain for tonight? Huh? Just gonna put a little bit of turquoise in, I mean purple in here this time. And, oops, look at my brayer. Totally drenched. That's a lot of paint. A lot of paint, a lot of paint. Oh, she's still yapping. Sweet Mary. Jim, the stencil's called Iron Gate. All right. That's all the cleaning off that gets. There's a lot of paint on there, though. Hey, Mojo. What you doing, puppy? Are you trying to get away from her, too? I don't blame you, honey. All right. Let's see. Lizzie, this is my first time doing this, so you don't have to seal the paint on fabric. It does say to heat set it once it dries for 24 hours. To heat set it on both sides of the fabric. To the settings of the for the temperature that the for the fabric that your iron says. Okay, I'm going to, you know what, I think I'm just going to do all this color combination. I like the color. I think I'm just going to go with that, and I'm going to do maybe just different size rounds. How about that? And I got enough paint on here probably to get this. No, I better put more on there. Oh, it's getting kind of dry. I'll put all turquoise on there and see what I get. Okay, let's see what happens here. Oh, you're welcome, Lizzie. Let's see, here we go. I like how as soon as you push that, you see the stencil pattern. I don't know if you guys can pick that up on the camera. I don't think so. She went just before we, I let him outside just before I got on. She would really be pitching a fit if that's what she had to do. She's got a specific bark for that. I know, Jim. She's hard-headed, I'm telling you. She could very easily just walk down here and lay right up against my legs like she usually does, but she's choosing not to. Ooh, that's kind of cute. Cute. I like that one. I'm going to mix some of those in there. I think I'll put one of those right over my schmutz down here on the bottom. All right. Oh, she's, Babe is very, very specific with her needs with her different barks. She's got a bark that she wants to go outside. She's got a bark that when she's outside and she wants Mojo to come with her, that she calls him to come outside. If they don't have any water, night Zandra, thanks for joining us. If she, if they're out of water and we don't know it, which is rare, there's a bark for the water. She's quite the yapper. Ooh, that's a good one. That's got a good mix of the color, of the colors in there. See that shading in that one? I like that one. Oh, Jim, that's a good idea to do placemats. The problem is you got to find a material that is it doesn't have such a nap on it that it would look splotchy when you print it. You know, it wouldn't hit the low spots in the nap of the material, if that makes sense. I'm gonna very gingerly try to drag this up there and print one of these over my boo-boo down here. I mean, you could do anything, just if you like did, you know, a pillowcase or linen towels for the kitchen. Tote bags. I thought what I would do is when I got done in the set that I would come back with some black paint and use my rubber stamps and stamp like maybe the pictographs or other images on there for a little pop of black. I know there's no limit to, you know, you could do a shower curtain, you know, get a plain white shower curtain. That's going to be a whole lot of printing, but guest towels, if you got smooth, you have to be like smooth, more linen-y towels, or a towel that has, you know, a trim on the bottom that's more of a smooth fabric, like a muslin or a silk, anything that would be silk. There we go. Schmutz fixed. Ooh, that's a cool print. You know what? Let me see if she does now. She's getting a little more loud in her barks. Let me see if she's got to go outside. I'll be right back, guys. Speak amongst yourselves. Baby, you got to go outside? Come on. Come on with Mom. You got to go outside. I'll let you out this door. Come on. Come on, sweetie. Come on. Here you go. Mojo. Come on. Go pee-pee. You got your pee-pee? Go ahead, big girl. Hurry up. Be right back, guys. shut you up for a while. Sheesh. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, what do I feel like I missed stuff when I'm away from the chat? Throw pillows would be a really cool thing to do. You could just do fabric and make whatever you want if you're a sewer, seamstress. All right, let's see. I think I'm going to do another one of those higher up on the shoulder over here. I saw that about the circle placement. All right, let's see what we got here. Got a lot of paint on the brayer, but it's kind of getting thick. I want to get that out of there. Lay down, Mojo. Go ahead, lay down on Mojo's bed. It's okay. Now watch this one be too turquoisey. Is that possible? Too much turquoise? I don't think so. PFD fabric is something you can order or a process you have to do yourself with the fabric. Oh, I don't even know what that is, Jim. I hope you're asking somebody on the chat, but I'd like to know what that is. You order it. What is that, Pamela? Rats, I missed something good. Ooh, that one's more turquoise, but I like it. What is PFD? Oh, prepared for dye. Oh. Huh. Oh, you know what? Dharma Trading is where that little linen jacket I was telling you about that I wanted to do. That's where that was from. Huh, interesting. Oops, gotta keep that one flat there for a while. It's a shame I can't get this whole thing in the in frame. I need a model to put this on, and then I can go back and see where I want to add more. Well, let's see. Let's just see, shall we? That might be something to do. That might come out okay. Alright, let's keep with the circles. I'll go with the circle purple turquoise theme on this one. I'll just stick to that. Stick with what I know. Sacrificing a lot of shirts here to this learning experience. But honestly, rarely do I wear a white t-shirt, and they're hanging in the closet, getting that yellowish tinge to them that they do just because they're there. Here we go. What are you going to make with it, Jim? Do you have an idea? Oh, thanks for putting up the link, Jean. That's kind of looks quilted. Pull this up a little bit here again. Get one over on this side. And this area a little bit, I believe. That would be really cool, Jim, if you do post pictures of it. Post them on my my Facebook, Inky Obsessions Facebook page. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Can you believe this now? Listen to her. Oh, here she comes down the steps. Babe. Oh, she must hear something. If Mojo's barking, he hears something for real. It's probably our neighbor. They're probably not going to be too pleased when they find out what I did today. I left the house. I work from home today, and I left to go to my hair appointment. And I went out. The neighbors are selling their house across the street. And their realtor, I'm assuming their realtor, took it upon themselves to stake out one of his realty signs for advertising for their open house in our front yard with an arrow pointing across the street. Now, if that would have been me, I would have asked the neighbors first if that was okay. So after I called Dave to make sure he didn't tell him it was okay. Because I really wouldn't mind if they'd ask. I'd have said, yeah, sure, what the heck. But I wasn't wild about the fact that they just hammered it in there and didn't ask me. So I called Dave. He's golfing down in North Carolina. And I said, did you? And he said, nope, I don't know anything about it. I said, all right, well, when I go back, I'm pulling that sucker out and I'm going to set it over by their mailbox and see what happens. So I don't know if something's going on out in front that the pup's here with that sign, or I don't know. People are crazy. Babe, I'm going to close that door as soon as I get done this little print here. I know, Jean, that's what I'm figuring. That's not going to end well. Just have to go out and pull it out of there again. So I don't know, when I'm thinking about what I'm doing here and wearing these, I don't know that that's going to be just such a pleasing thing to wear. I mean, each print looks kind of cool, but it's just like blobs on a shirt. So I'm thinking I need to overlap and do more, some kind of blending more or something. I'm thinking. I got to take a break and think for a minute. Yeah, I think so too, Jean. That's what I'm looking at. It's just kind of there. So, I got a little idea in my head. But, I'm thinking about, I have a small strip left over. Oh, you're on my site, Becca? My Etsy shop for that phone case that I had there? That's for an iPhone 5. If that's what you're talking about, make sure you understand that's an iPhone 5. That's a picture of a collage that I did on that case. And it's hanging upstairs, actually, in the living room. Or at the top of the hallway. So, do some orangey yellow in the same patterns. Fill spray bottles with Kool-Aid. Oh, good. I'm glad you do. I liked it myself, kinda. All right, I think I'm going to put the caps on these for right now because I'm thinking and I don't know if this is going to work or not. So let me see. Let me see what I have here. I was thinking that I had a long skinny strip off of the jelly plate that I cut up. And I do. Okay. So here's this long skinny strip off the edge of the big jelly plate I cut up to make my 8.5 by 11. And I'm thinking, can I use that as a little bar to kind of connect the circles and maybe do it in black? Let me think about that. And I don't, let's see. Of course, my border stamp is only this big, my acrylic block. Yeah, I know. I like the pictographs, Rain. But, right, Jamie? It's just a white t-shirt. Why am I being so fussy? So I think I might cut this to fit on this. And then I have a little long stamp right there. I do believe that's what's going to happen right here. I do believe it is. Yep, I'm sure it is. Patty, isn't that bar too wide to use black paint as a connector? I think it will overpower the patterns. I don't know. I don't know that answer either, Denise. You know, it's all kind of a crapshoot when I get going here. So, all right. Now, the best way to cut this, that's a whole other story. Wonder if I could just plow through it with scissors. It's just a short little piece. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Rain. Got the big mammer jammers here. Huh, there we go. Alright, of course it's crooked. Oh, I damn near cut through the shirt. That would suck. That cut pretty well. Oh, look, I got another little stamp. Figure that out later. Okay. That's done. Now, what am I going to do with that? I have an idea, though, to incorporate the pictographs. I have them on wooden stamps, right? That I could possibly, but you know what though, thinking about it, if I'm going to try to connect these designs using the pictograph stamps, like if I would try to draw, you know, connect in here, I would go on an angle. Is that font, if you want to call it a font of the pictograph, going to look weird on angles like that, trying to connect everything? What do you think? Anyway, your mother-in-law lives upstairs. She won't wear her hearing aid. She never hears me. Debbie, I just read your note about your mother-in-law upstairs. Good Lord. Yeah, Denise, that would be great if you guys could talk back, huh? Or maybe not. But anyway, so I'm thinking that I'm going to roll black paint on here. And maybe make impressions in the paint with this. And then stamp it. What the hell? See what happens. I got to make some room here. I'm getting a little elbow down in my working space. All right. Oh, black paint would be good. Where's my black paint? Oh, now, well, you know what? I'll use, where the hell did I put that? Oh, here it is. I'm going to use some of this, a little bit of Golden's black, and put a little bit of fabric medium in that, which is here. I don't want it inside. There's enough outside. I don't know what you're talking about, Gina, if you're talking to me, dear. Don't want it outside. Don't want it inside. There's enough outside. Okay, I know I'm off screen here, but I'm just mixing some fabric medium in with some black fluid acrylics. So that's a nice smooth thin paint. Debbie, I'm just reading your messages. Oh my God. Oh, that's okay, Jean. She's a piece of work, isn't she, Deb? Alright, I'm going to ink up my little sliver of a piece of jelly plate here. I got some down the sides of that. Wipe that off. On my shirt, of course. And here we go. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll use another one down here. All right. Yes, I am recording, Jim. Oh, Lordy, here we go. Oh, where? There it is. It's down. Oh my God, Debbie, she keeps running into stuff with the car. You know, my ex-husband's father, he got to the point where they actually had to take his keys. It was not good. Bad news, Paula. That's a little too stark, I think. But now that we did it, we're going to keep going. Yeah, Paula, I wasn't sure. Oh, shoot. That went right in the paint. Good night, Nellie. I've considered cutting up one of my sheets to keep it all in one, you know, square of all these pictograph designs. But when they, when I order them from the place that makes my stamps for me, they send me a free wood-mounted set for my own use. Yeah, work through the uglies. I got the way to go. I don't know if I have that much time. But we're going to carry on. We're going to press through. Work through it. Oh, anyway, Debbie, I was telling you about the ex's father. He was not happy about having to give up his license. He was in his 80s, but he was plowing down the mailbox every time he'd leave the house. And every time he'd come back and head back, my sister-in-law would run out and tell her kids to get out of the driveway, to get out of his way, because she was never sure, you know, what he may or may not hit coming in. And he was not happy when they said you can't drive anymore. But they were in Louisiana, and he ran off the road into a swampy, like, not a storm drain, but just off the side of the road where the road kind of went down into a hill, and it was all full of swampy water. Could have been gators in there for all you know. And he fell, road, and somebody found him alongside the road, stuck in his car down in the water. Here's your sign. I love that guy, though. He was a hoot. The barbecue. She ran into the barbecue under the carport. Good God. Ah. I have to go next month, Deb, and get my eyes checked for my license this time. I guess, I don't know if it's because of my age or when they decide that's the thing to do. My mom will be 87 in July, and now she just had cataract surgery in both eyes that I've taken her to recently. She doesn't even need glasses now. Well, I don't know where we're going with this, but what the hell? One more, I think, for good measure. Yeah, I remember when you had, was it 18 years ago you had LASIK? Ooh, look out. All right, I see where I need one more up there. Ooh. Oh my God, he broke his neck at 91 years old, Jim? Oh my gosh. He passed away. Oh, wow. Good Lord, at 91 now. I'm trying to squidge these around a little bit and remove some of that paint. I'm going to have to wipe these off pretty good when I get done. Trying to, maybe I can touch those two together. Okay, well, now here's where we are. Not at all what I envisioned. I didn't really have a vision. It's probably the issue. Oh, wow. An accordion player with Harry James. It sounds like he had a full life at 91. So I'm thinking maybe just some splots. Is what I'm thinking. Darcy, what was her name? My mom is all about the old big band music. My dad recorded everything that she's got on CDs that she still plays. Do you mind saying her name? Don't, I mean, if it's, you'd rather not on the public forum, don't worry about it, but My father-in-law that I was talking about, actually, he was a drummer in the big bands. Oh, Denise, that's a good idea, actually. I'm trying to remember. Jimmy Dorsey, was that one of the big band leaders? He was a drummer for him. He used to always talk about how everybody liked it when he played Hold That Tiger, when he drummed that song. He was a hoot. Question, can you use the smaller jelly slice in the small spaces? You mean like in between here and this white space? Henry Hot Lips Levine. Ah! Yeah, Jimmy Dorsey, that's right. I thought it was Gene. But he used to... Hey, Deb, good night. Love you. Yeah, he was a hoot. Tom Turriglado was his name. Oh. Not many of those guys left, huh? Unfortunately. Okay, so now I'm thinking. Can you hear me? I got this lid. And I'm thinking I'm going to smear out this black paint that I have fabric medium in a little thinner. And I think that was a good idea. Somewhere between, use a pop of bright color. Okay, here goes nothing, people. Right there looks like a good one. Can you smell it, Rain? My brain burning. Yeah. But I think I need to overlap some, like right there maybe. Oops. Here we go. How about that? I don't think I have any wider surface ones, Denise. Now I'm starting to look at it like a canvas instead of a shirt. I'm still thinking some splats. Splats, splats, splats. What do you guys think? I was thinking about taking some of the metallic turquoise and just having a fling at it. Oh, that's cool, Rain. That's really cool. How about your dad being on Ed Sullivan and you found the footage for him as a gift? That was really nice. Oh, thanks, Paula. I'm glad you like them. You know the link to where to get them at iStencils.com? Or do I want to splat black? I was thinking about that. Cats with the gold or silver. I thought about it actually. I think I'm going to go with the turquoise though. Something's telling me splat turquoise. So turquoise it will be. Let me move this out some so I can cover up part of my computer keyboard. This one's brand new. I don't want to splat that up too soon. And I'm thinking just a little bit of this watered down, just a tad, and on a paintbrush so that they're kind of bigger splats instead of the spray. I thought about doing it like on a, like somebody was saying, on a toothbrush, but I think that's going to be too fine for the, excuse me, for it being on material. I think I'll lose it in the nap of the material. So, here go nothing. Gotta get this off of here before it dries. Good night. You should see this mess over here, guys. I'm telling you. Got nowhere to go but up. I don't want to put that over there because it's still painty. Okay, I need to put some of this. This might be liquidy enough just to splat like it is. Honestly. Oh well, I'll put a little bit out here. This has a lot of pigment in it. Patty, cover up the V-neck spot with something. Ew. Oh, maybe pieces of this. Good idea. How about that? Okay. I'm going to open up this sleeve a little bit over here and cover up more of my keyboard. All right. Get a little bit of water in my paint. Ooh, way too much water in my paint. Paper towel, please. Good night, Nellie. Yikes. I'm going, Jim. I'm going for it. And I'm going to use one of these Japanese brushes that are supposed to be good for one of these jobs. They're supposed to be good for splattering. So I understand. Oh, you know what? I have these splatter brushes. I got these before. These real long bristles. I wonder. I don't know. I'll try this first. And if this doesn't work, I'll try those. All right, people. Stand back. Here goes nothing. Ah! Oh, that's pretty good. Good Lord. This is going everywhere. Okay. Consider yourself splatted. Oh, now you tell me, Pam. Ouch, that hurt. Ow. Apparently, I'm a very violent. Actually, it's splatting it on my hand when I do that. See the fresh turquoise? All right. I'm gonna put that in some water, and I'm gonna move these. These got splatted too, but how pretty is that? All right, I'm gonna move this. I wish I could show you guys this better. If you could see the whole schmear. I even splatted down below the design. Oh, I can't show you that. Can I? Off the bottom of the shirt. Well, you just have to trust me. There's splats down there to kind of carry the whole theme. But that's where that one ended up. I'm going to go take this off the cardboard. And I have one more shirt that's a pale turquoise. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Not sure what's going to show up well. All right. Okay, my last printable shirt. And it's a turquoise. What color am I putting on here? Does it have to be black? This is actually a nice t-shirt. Hey, CJ. Okay. Oops. So, for some reason this one wants to go kind of crooked here on me. So I don't know how colors are going to show up on this, right? Because is the turquoise going to show through and make the orange prints that would contrast nicely on it brown? Bye, Jim. Thanks for joining. It was good to see you online again. I notice I drum my fingers when I'm thinking. Do you ever notice that? Oh, white first, then color. That's a thought. Metallics. That's a good idea, Jean. I have this gold fabric paint. It's metallic gold. What to do? What to do? I wonder if I just used, I mean, I do have silver paint that I could put fabric medium in. Silver might be nice and subtle on this and it wouldn't change the color. This might, I don't know, with this on the blue. It's not like you can test it without totally screwing up the shirt. You know, I think I'm going to go this golden silver, that's got a lot of pigment in it. So I'm going to get rid of this. Get rid of these stamps. Get back some more real estate over here. And get rid of this paint palette so I can make another one with silver. Canvas. Patty, think of those canvases you've done recently. Oh yeah, with the turquoise and the silver and the black and gray. I love that. I told Dave this raindrop color. I said, you know, if we're going to, whenever we repaint upstairs, I think I want to go with that color. It's just so soothing. I love bright turquoise like cobalt teal and all that, but this color is just so soothing. I really love that. Oh, and maybe like take the deli paper. Oh, maybe I'll do that. I don't know if that's what you guys meant. Jen, I don't know if that's what you meant. But the Raindrop Cats is Joe Sonia. I get it at Dick Blick. It's an acrylic by Joe Sonia, and it's called Raindrop. It's a potting shed series of colors that she has. The silver that I use is this Iridescent Fine by Goldens. So, I think what I'm going to do, you know what, you gave me an idea, and I don't know if that's what you meant or not, so maybe this is your idea, but I'm going to go back to the, where I took the whites and the charcoal gray and splattered it on deli and then mopped it across the canvas. I'm going to put that across the middle here and then stencil around it. Oh, okay, Denise. Well, I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to do that. What the hell? All right. Let's just have a go, shall we? We shall. Raindrop. That's a good name, Rain. Okay, here we go. We're going to see what happens. You know, I like these brushes. They're just cheap ones from Michael's American Painter. But I have so many of them that are, it's, you know, only a matter of time that that puppy is going to come off of there. It's loosey-goosey. And it's off. I guess I can glue it, but that just frustrates me. Okay, let's go. Here we go. It's a good size. All right, here goes nothing, people. And then I need one for white. Remember how I did this? Oh, you guys can't really see. Sorry about that. This shirt is taking up so much of my work surface. I'm like really out of frame. All right, here go nothing. Jamie, I got 26 minutes left. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I'm going to do it again. There we go for another one on this side. Well, how's that for abstraction? All right, and ooh, I got a little mess over here now. Let me get these in some water. Put this away. Oh, you know what I think I'm going to do right off the bat is, since we haven't done any PBO tonight, I think it's about time. Go with a little bit of blue-green. And I'm going to do some circles on there. Paint some metallic green circles. I tell you what, this PBO blue-green paint, I could eat that stuff. I really could. Oh, shoot. Oops, got a little bit too much going on there. Alright, let's throw some of this in here. Shall we? Yep. Oop, that wasn't very bright. I'm going to have to do that again. There we go. That's a little better. All right, now, well, it is what it is. Not bad. But now I'm going to take some silver, and I'm going to mix that with fabric medium. Okay. And now I'm going to stencil in all, silver. Just kind of randomly and overlapping all over the shirts. Thanks, guys. See if I can get in closer. See if you can see that PBO shine when it hits the light. Maybe, maybe not. Oops. Get over there. Getting all cattywampus on me. Alright, let's pull back. Alright. Trying to wipe off some of this paint buildup on this little plate. Kind of got my acrylic blocks kind of boogered up here, but they just look well loved. Okay, now I'm going to get these out of my way. And, oops, good night. Look at all this stuff I wiped all over my shirt. Oh, you gotta pay attention there, sister. I think I'm gonna go back to these. Whoops. Yikes, stencils everywhere. That one looked kind of cool with the round, and that looked kind of cool with the round. Okay. All right, here goes nothing, people. Where the hell did I put my... Oh, here it is. Lost my brayer. And all that corn fusion. I hope this shows up. Alright, now I'm going to turn this upside down so I can get closer to the top of this without dragging my arms. I have a stencil in my mouth, that's why I sound funny. Without dragging my arms through the damn paint. Okay. Here goes nothing. Do I want to have it touch there? Yeah, why not? Oh, look at all the pretty turquoise splatters all over my brand new Mac. That's what I like. Now, there we go. You can kind of see that. All right. Almost looks like it has a colored cast to it a little bit. Yeah, CJ, I'll try anything once. Let's mix it up a little bit here. Let's see what happens when I do this. Oh, yeah, that would look good, Denise. kind of neat because you see the blue through the pattern instead of white, obviously. Let's see. This will be, oh, I forgot, it just rolled, this chat just rolled up. But this will be, like right under the bust line, I think. Oops. I need to get some paint in there. I'm going to try to add some paint in there where I missed. Oops, too much. Yeah, that kind of worked. Kind of, sort of. Okay, let's go back to this. All right, I gotta turn this around and see what I'm doing here. Huh. I can't say that I'm in love with it, honestly. I don't hate it. Oops. I'm going to put one more on here. Let's try this one. Looks weird with 4. I don't like 4, I like 5. Oh, that's kind of neat looking. Gotta stand up and walk back from it a minute. Which I can't get too far from it back here, actually. What time is it? Oh, I got 10 minutes. You can also use a black marker and draw the negative space in the silver circles at the top. Oh, that would be a lot of work. Probably not good for my shaky hand. Yet a good idea. Okay, cats, good night. Thanks for joining. Night, Bunny. I think I'm going to do like 5 there and maybe 3 down here. Night, Pam. Let me do another one of these numbers down here. One thing's cool that you can actually wiggle this pretty. See how I'm twisting that stamp? If you'd stamp like that on anything else, you'd have a big old smear on your hands. But that's just grinding that into that fabric, into the nap. Huh. Well, I don't know. I just don't know, but I think I know that I'm going to do more. More on these, I do believe. Night, Jamie. You know, when all else fails, get out the old Molotov and throw a little bit of black in there. That's what I'm saying. Yet where? Let's see. Here, just go for it. Just push it down in there. Oh, thanks, Leo. I don't think I can draw spirals on this fabric, Jen. I think the fabric would, you know, it would travel. It would try to, you know, it would move the fabric around. that any better? Remains of pregnant Food Network star contestant found in suspect stove? What the hell? Wasn't it, wasn't it something about was it Food Network that kept having their contestants die or be killed or something? Was it that show? That's so strange. That's really, it was on the news? Oh my God. Wow. Telling you. People are crazy. I think I'm going to go over these circles that got buried. Oh, here we go again. She shut up for a while, but now she's back. Yappity yap. Go back and hit the... I should have waited until the end to do these, huh? Dorothy, you're really hanging in there. 2 a.m. Good Lord, girl. I hope you can sleep in tomorrow. That's a little bit better. Some more zhuzh in there for these that got covered under some layers. All right, ladies. I think I probably have about a minute left. Dorothy is a trooper. So that's kind of where that one might end up. The metallics don't show nearly as metallic on the fabric as they do on paper or canvas. The PBO, where it's thicker here, you can see a little bit of that shimmer in it. Where, if I see I can catch the light, there you can see a little bit of it. But the silver, if you look really close in person, you can see, there you go, you can see on the egg timers there, a little bit of shimmer. There you go. But it doesn't shimmer like it does on paper. But there you go. I wanted to play with some t-shirts. I played with some t-shirts. So if you got any old t-shirts that you don't wear because there's spots on them or whatever, hide them with paint. Stamp those suckers. Paint those suckers. Sling paint. Jelly plate it. Recycle. Upcycle. So anyway, okay, my friends, I think I'm going to be bumped off of here in just another minute. So I'll end the recording gracefully. Thank you all for joining me. It's been a fun night. I'm sorry I couldn't pay as much attention to the stream as I normally do. Thanks, Pam. Thanks, Paula. CJ, Rain, Chessie, Dorothy, CB, Eileen. Jean, thank you again for everything. I appreciate you ladies hanging with me. I'll put some still, I'm going to let these dry tonight, and I'll put some stills up on my Inky Obsessions Facebook page. So you guys have a great weekend. Happy first day of spring, even though we got snow outside of Baltimore today. A few inches, but then it turned to rain, so I probably got 2 or 3 inches. And look what I just did. I broke the glass. See that crack? Break your mother's back. My jelly plate glass. So I'll be getting another picture frame at Michael's, I guess. Ah, rats. Oh, it says I've got 3 big minutes. I know, it sounds like romper room. Hi. What's Dar's channel? Anybody got a link for that? I'm not sure I have that. I might, but I don't. I'm not sure I know Art Dar's real name. I have a birthday lunch for a friend of mine I'm going to in Annapolis tomorrow afternoon, and then I'll be back tomorrow night. And since my hubs is away, it would be great to watch a stream. Oh, Paula's tomorrow night. What am I thinking? Good idea, Barb. With the plexiglass. Maybe that's what I'll get this time. Oh, Jean's... Oh, I don't know if I'll be back by that time, Jean. What's Dar's channel? Anybody got that? They can send me a link. Oh, I can't wait to see what you do tomorrow, Paula. That's such a good tease. Something cool planned for tomorrow, so everybody watch Paula, Journal Artista. Yeah, I will definitely have to look for a piece of that, Barb. This is the second one I've been through. With my cheap picture frame idea. Ah, there it is. I'm going to go mark that right now, Jean.